niggas talking about, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going.
Right. More like we hate women. You know what I mean? One thing I learned, bro, you do things the right way, everything follows in place. Well, supposed to be right.
Well, I mean, it's in the spirit.
And then I put it on horizontal. But
Shalom.
Shalom.
We give all the glory and praises to As you seek the Spirit, we are definitely some exciting, eventful, prophetic times. You know, the Yahushua gave us a spiritual game called the gameplay to let us know that we're going to be seeing the signs of our times. And the period goes into like a reflection era. You know, you see certain global trends, events, and behaviors going around the world, and all are heralding to the second coming of our Lord and Savior Yahushua. So within these latter times, we're supposed to be paying attention, be on high alert, because Yahushua is about to come through that door.
Same.
Luke 10 and 23.
I think you have to close it out all the way.
He is Yahushua. He turned him unto his disciples and said privately, blessed are the eyes which see the things that you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them.
Those eyes are to those spiritual eyes, which is that spiritual eyesight, and the the Holy Spirit. You see things that are going on, and things that you can filter out with the Holy Spirit. That's how you measure the times diligently in itself.
Revelation 1:3. Blessed is he that reads and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
That's right, the time is at hand. And according to Romans, it says how Yahushua will come back. He's going to perform a short work. He's going to lay forever, long as not going to great destiny within 60 minutes.
All right, this is the book of Mark, chapter 13, starting at verse 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is.
So by that taking the heed, it goes into by paying attention. Again, you see what's going on with current news and current events, like geopolitics, you filter out the scriptures. That's why it's known as the measuring rod when you read Revelation 11 chapter.
Verse 34. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants.
So he left his house, meaning that he's within the spiritual realm on the right hand side of heaven, God in the house.
And to every man his work, and commanded the quarter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening, or at midnight, or at the crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.
Watch. That's the thing that he told us, simply like that. He commanded us, gave us an order, a decree to watch. What we were watching for, the signs of our times. You see right now with our enemy, Esau Edom, as it says in Revelation 12 and 12, he's about to ready to come down with great wrath because he lives in just in the short term. And as you can see what's going on with geopolitics, on the least on the left-hand side, they're trying to implement a global lockdown, the global lockdown 2.0. Like you said, this time it's going to be energy conservation, energy security, and it's going to be a world energy shock coming soon. You know, so right now what you see what's going on, and you have the IEA, that's the International Energy Agency. They're likened to like a global organization, go around the world to different countries, they shape different energy policies for a secure and sustainable future. So right now, the heads of them came out with a 10-point plan, most of like an energy lockdown playbook, but they're trying to implement to different governments around the world to enforce work-from-home jobs, to enforce speed limit reductions, to enforce stop boiling food. Yeah, like total control in other words. So now you see what's going on with this so-called Middle Eastern country. It's going to provoke a global catastrophic, global economic catastrophe, kind of a catastrophe.
It's a saying too, Japan. It goes into create scarcity to promote dependency, and dependency promotes control. Total control.
That's why I said years ago, this pandemic, going to the first pandemic, it was like a big trial. We're about to see what's about to happen now. This pandemic represents a narrow window of opportunity to reset, to reimagine, to reflect on the world.
Now, when you go into WW3, Mr. Pike, Albert Pike, basically wrote a letter to this guy by the name of G. Mazzini in 1871 about the 3 world wars. Now, when it came to the Third World War, he said it must be against Christianity versus Islam. And also within this dynamic, he said we have to create global chaos. So what is the global chaos? It's in the name of energy.
It's energy crisis.
The energy crisis.
So now all of a sudden this Middle Eastern conflict, you see all these different countries around the world, all of a sudden they have like rolling blackouts. You know, they're talking about the global supply struggling and strain. Fuel rationing. I want to say Slovenia, that's like a country in Europe. It was the first country to start fuel rationing. You know, you got Thailand, go to your video about it. And with Thailand, I think they want to start implementing to their citizens and start wearing short sleeves. You know, start wearing suits and long sleeves. You know, so South Korea, they're doing QR codes for gas pumps and different purchases. You know, you got Russia, China, Japan, India, even a country of Australia. They're all into this together for this global reset.
And then Cuba's in darkness.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Sri Lanka, Thailand,
Thailand.
New York got New York is about to have a shutdown at 11 p.m. dealing with the light system.
Yeah, they proposed just a bill not too long ago. They will propose any outdoor lighting from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m.
And that's why people feel this weekend, man, you know, about something outside, man. We always go to 2nd Ezra, you know, 15th chapter, speaking to the Israel people, the words of prophets. And by doing that, what are you doing? What's that, Sirach, is it 91, occupy yourself in prophecy? So we supposed to be occupied in prophecy, man, because that's the hot topic. That's what's going on. Those are the times we're in, man. And we equate the things we're seeing that's happening to the scriptures, man, and bring it forth to the people by way of how much somebody outside so what? They can take heed to what's going on.
I'm so glad you said that because if you don't watch the prophecies, right, and how do you watch the prophecies? By seeing what's going on in real-time events. You have to be a news reporter and say, what's going to arrive on the hour shot? Because you're not watching the current events and measuring the current events by the prophecies that's documented in the Bible. How do you know that the time of the hour shot is here? You have to watch. And that's the only way that you can watch.
That's why 2nd Ezra 9 goes into 9 or 8, measure thou the time diligently. Within itself.
2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I have told you before, then thou shalt understand that at the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he came.
And because Yahushua said what? Yahushua said, I will not leave you comfortless. So with him not leaving us comfortless, he left us with the Holy Spirit, he left us with the understanding of the Holy Scriptures, and he left us with the signs of the times that we're able to gauge and scale and judge the current condition of the world versus what the current, the future condition of the world shall be. And that's the only way that you can really understand where we're going and where this particular nation or kingdom is projected to go.
Part of the plant might stem in a certain direction. Yeah, and then we're like, okay,
They built up a heap of stones.
Oh yeah.
You know.
That's right.
It says removing out the ancient landmarks. That was literal too. You know, we actually had landmarks now. Because too also for like it's been a while since I went into it, but like your ancestors, their land, and you can always trace your land. You can always say, okay, this is my father's land, my great grandfather's land, and also if you had acres of land and cattle, and they had acres of land and cattle, y'all have to have like some type of mark to divide our land. That would cause discrepancies.
Yeah. They do that today. You know, they do a survey where they'll put them posts to separate the land because it has to be some kind of market to show where it ends and begins.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if not, you will.
I have a vice over
Yeah,
no problem.
And who's that?
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by the IEA, so by the IEA implemented this energy lockdown playbook, you know, with the work from home and how they would alternate days, or by your license plate, we'll say like even numbers, Mondays you were able to drive to work, odd numbers, you know, like Tuesdays and Thursdays. So like we were, I think Australia already imposing these restrictions on their people.
I don't know, bro, if it's Orlando, Solomon, I think they're going to be off on Wednesday. It's okay, so they're going to be off on Wednesday. And again, the speed limit. They talk about reducing speed, and what the fuck that got to do with conservative energy? And then you niggas had any kind of balls or any type of awareness, not us, because we're spiritual men, you niggas should be rioting, man.
Getting on the ground, natural. I think they realize that they come back to 5% in flights. So you see what's going on right now with TSA and the airport stuff. You know?
They done missed their second check, and then the dude said his last check was a damn dollar. You should have told that nigga you got kids like this.
So regarding this energy lockdown playbook, in order for you to fly, they say it got to be essential or non-essential. So what is this all reflecting? C-19.
Yep,
Pandemic.
essential workers.
Exactly.
And this is Psalm 64 and verse 4. Let me start at 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And that evil matter is what? The attainment of the new world order. And they use COVID. They use the they use COVID basically as a pre-trial for the real thing. They got all that intel, that intelligence, so they can know their next phase on how to move. Right? And
All these, this is like a dictatorship in a way, and all these restrictions is still just a prep for their children, because it's just like that's gonna be the outlet with all the restrictions. Because eventually, like you ain't gonna be able to go no goddamn where, you ain't gonna be able to eat nothing, or you gonna have these restrictions on how much you can consume and everything. But when it's all over done, the outlet to be able to obtain more and have some sense of normalcy, you're gonna have to take that thing.
And then they're saying, who shall see them? What does this mean? Basically, disguised as hope. Disguised as energy conservation. You know? Verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Because they have researchers. You know, they have scientists to search for their agendas, man. Data analysts, all those different things, man.
Best believe these scientists and these data analysts, they did what? They was recording people's behaviors and how they reacted during COVID. They know the time frame when people start to go crazy, sitting in their homes. They know how people feel working these remote locations. They got all the data.
You know,
They record data like you watch some like conspiracy videos as well. They record it as well.
and it really went spring forward. I mean, with George Bush II, man, because he the one wrote that into law where you can actually do surveillance on all American citizens, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, the Patriot Act. Come on.
And that all kicked off from what? 9/11. There's always an event to justify those things.
And that's why you got what this mechanism called Colin Peter. And that was on Batman. You know, he turned everybody's cell phones into recording devices so he could find out where the Joker was at. All right, back in verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. And this is the point. Both the inward thought of every one of them and their mind is deep.
Now, whoever thought this so-called Middle Eastern conflict is really a war for both the global economic catastrophe.
And that's why David Icke said, what? Don't get too mesmerized of the reward. Focus on the outcome, what they're trying to do. Now it's all about energy conservation, energy conservation.
That's going to be even worse than the CO2.
Yeah. Because now it has a global economic affectation. You know, the C-19, it basically had a global effect to where people were enclosed, but there wasn't a halt, pause, or disruption in the economical exchange of money or goods when you had the gold, the silver, the crude oil, right? The stock market. You know, because I looked at the stock market this week, it was bloody red. It's been bloody red, especially within the latter half of the week. You get those particular spikes where you have the buyers to step in, but the sellers coming over out. You have major corporations that are coming at the close of the stock market to buy at a lower price just to resell at a higher price and it drops again. You know?
Trump and his cronies, like you said, they're friends. They see Trump and make a speech to make the stock market go up and down. So him and his cronies can buy this shit when it's low, and then they go back up and they make a flip. You know, so you got that going on.
No, a good point. Just to back you up on that one. So hold this point you got. During Trump's last message on Wednesday, it was Tuesday and Wednesday, 10 to 12 minutes before he made that particular announcement, everybody got into the stock market. The volume increased over $150 million. So all of the people that were insiders, all of his friends, they all bought in on the same exact thing at that price. Boy, skyrocketed over $100 million.
You had news reports saying that people were looking at the price by that speech. What you just said.
But he keeps saying it's going to be a piece. It's not going to be a piece. It's going to keep. See, the thing you have to understand that these devils can start implementing this shit while the war going on. And then as they implement it, and once they get to the point where they make this MOTV money to it, then they take the cap off and this war going on. And see, you got to keep up. So you got to be balanced. Because you got to keep those votes. You got to keep those leaks, how they doing it. And then you got to keep up with the actual war because it's a prophecy. You know, World War I and World War II, the devil, they were able to benefit and prosper. This one is going to work against it. You watch one folks, but you can't watch one without the other. So you're watching. So you got to watch how these elites moving with this economy and shut down. And then you kind of watch these alliances. You really only got to watch the alliances according to the scriptures, like Ezekiel 38 or the dragons of Arabia. Like you see, okay, these Gulf Arab states starting to switch in Iran. You see Turkey and Iran starting to ship intel before it was good. That's because of the prophecy. And people out with the leak on it because that's MOTB got to come first before this war goes nuclear.
If I just say this, and don't get it twisted, this is the real thing here. You know, this is a WW3 has been activated. Those troops that's leaving here, they're not coming back. You know, so they're not coming back. I mean, it's on. So in this war is a little different from all these other prior or previous events. So don't get it twisted. Like the point is saying, you just gotta watch both to still understand the mindset or the strategic chess moves of the elite. And all of this shit is within the will of Yahweh.
Man, I was just literally about to say the exact same thing because these small hats, these people that are in power, these so-called elites, these illuminated ones, they believe that they're the ones that are pulling these strings. Right. Because in their mind, they said we have to have one more war. That one more war was already prophesied. And how about you, how shy? He said,
one war's passed.
Revelation 11:14. The second one comes, the third one comes quickly. And that's before they know
exactly. So that's how you know that the minds of these people on the earth are in the hands of Yahweh Shai. But their perception is they're pulling the strings down here. And now you're moving according to the agenda of Yahweh Shai. And that's why the biggest threat that you have is not even a physical threat to you. You have to feel like that you have to close their mouths. Which are whom? The prophets of Yahweh Shai. The men who have now lifted up a finger, who have now lifted up a hand, who that had conducted a single protest. You feel like that they have challenged your existence and they have challenged your agenda, so now you have to do some harm unto them.
That's right.
Unto us, the hopefully elect and the prophets out there.
And let's just say like this so-called Middle Eastern conflict, you know, it can be politically in right now, but you know, but still casualties being met. You know, civilians and soldiers being killed. Like that's no doubt about that.
Infrastructure
Yeah,
being destroyed.
like it's no coincidence all these global leaders right now are facing rolling blackouts. You know, like rationing oil, you know, things of that such. You know, talking about the crude oil, you know, inside the roof. You know, but at the same time, how about Shah still going? A lot of these different kings on the earth, they're gonna go to his determination. So that's gonna be World War III.
And I'm gonna say this, and what they're doing now is still his determination. That's what we're seeing. Everything that's happening is the will of the Most High. Nobody is moving how they're moving from an independent or an autonomous standpoint.
Like a free will.
A free will, no.
Because even when you look at, I said what I read, everybody's surprised when the scripture said the Carmelian is going to come forth with great power.
That's right.
They said the scripture say that. So what we've been seeing is the word of the Lord. You know, play out.
Yeah, and they shadow boxing right now.
Yeah.
You know, they ain't came with no heavy blows or really showed that power and force behind that knockout punch. You know, man, this is.
What it says in Ezekiel, the Most High is going to put it to them like an evil thought. That's what things are going to do.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to happen pop up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, starting in verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the river of water, he turneth it wherever so he will. Every way of man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh pondereth the hearts.
The Most High controls everything. And that's what basically the brother just brought out the precept to some of what we're saying. So Q's mind or his determination, Trump's determination, and most importantly, these international bankers' determination, their whole game plan is already formulated by Yahweh Shah. Remember, Yahweh Shah created this thing from the blueprint of the Most High. When you go into the book of Colossians, it tells you he creates principalities and dominions. Esau's rulership is a dominion. The blessing is a dominion.
And this is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's going, oh, Yahweh Bashim Shah. How can a man understand his own way? Like the brother was saying, hey, the Lord controls everything, right? Like the brother said, they're not doing it on their own, right? Every little move they do, they think they do. The Lord got y'all. The Lord got you. Hey, the Lord got you. Especially, now, I think the brother, Yash, they about every check. Something about Russia. Yeah. Man, look, the Most High is working minds and them like them devils and stuff.
Because every time they talk about, if they talk about de-escalation too loose, the Most High calls something to X this shit up. You know? Because the Most High wants this shit to keep going. He wants this shit to keep going, you know? Because the Lord taught us all moving. The Lord ready to wrap this nigga up. You know? So just like everybody getting into it, see, we look at all these analysts, geopolitics, these old, veterans and colonels and lieutenants in the war. But see, one thing everybody's lacking is understanding the prophet. See, that's when the prophets come in and fill the blanks and give you the whole picture of everything that's going on. Amongst all the brothers that you see, all right, it's out teaching the word, series from the apostles and elders on down, you're getting the whole picture of what's going on. Every brother bringing a gift to the table and putting a puzzle to paint that whole picture of the Lord to do. You know?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, starting verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger.
So the sanctified ones are prophets. The mighty ones, we're talking about who? The angels. But then when you go into the book of Job, it tells you that the angels seals men instructions. Meaning in their realm sleep, they receive their assignments of what they're going to do, the agenda that the Most High wants them to do. All of this shit is calculated.
Even them that rejoice in my highness, the noise of the multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people,
Let's talk about these nuclear
There
missiles.
you go.
a tumultuous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered
So
together.
Muslims is going to start to go upward. You know? A very loud, confusing noise. That's right. 200 million.
Is that the person on block 200 your throne like a trumpet.
And the sound
And with the earthquake like that, that further proves that it's going to be the return of God, because there was a great earthquake that labor pain during his departure.
That's right, bro. That's right.
The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustering the host of the balance.
That's just something that looks like you're simple. You complicate. So that shows you how the Most High, he's in control of all this right now. He always going to be in control of this. So what he's going to do, he's going to send all these different nations right now. He's going to take them to what? The Persian Gulf, what they'll call the so-called Middle East. And that's where they're going to have this World War III warfare.
And we're expecting Saudi Arabia. You know, when you think about the Red Sea, look at that. Yeah. Can I get that real quick? Get Joel to me.
What you going to the valley of Yahweh Shabbat?
Yeah.
Verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of the heaven, even the Lord Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to
So all
destroy.
these countries that have nuclear capability, right, they're going to release on this area right here. And America's going to get hit too. So you got America getting hit, Russia's going to get hit, Israel is going to get nuked because Israel has to basically, their land has to be purified, right? But the difference between Israel and America would never be inhabited again.
So they can say they come from a far country. That's why you know it's intercontinental ballistic missiles. You know, like they go between the continents.
Yeah.
You know?
Or they used to be what? Trans means transcontinental means across land. When you break that down, across land, man. Across land, from the east to the west, from the west to the east.
In Joel 2 and 20, I remove far out from you the northern army.
America, right? The northern army is America, right? Right now, troops are basically going over there, and they're not coming back. So all you family members that have someone that's actively enlisted, call them motherfuckers, because they not coming back. Hey, what Jesus say? Seeing niggas leave
And I'll drive him into a land barren and desolate.
It only makes sense that land is Saudi Arabia when you look at it from the standpoint of the map. Go ahead.
With face toward the east sea.
Now the East Sea is where? That's the Euphrates River, right? The East Sea is the Euphrates. Go ahead.
And hinder his part toward the utmost sea. And he
And
stinks.
that almost sees the Red Sea. So between the Red Sea and the Euphrates, you have what the landmass of Saudi Arabia, right? Because they can't land in Iran. Apostle Paul just went in there today. They're gonna have to land somewhere. It makes sense in Saudi Arabia
Like a more so flat terrain.
or more so flat terrain.
Yeah, they won't be able to do anything in those mountainous areas. Those U.S. troops can get slaughtered.
Remember they were trying to go up that beach and climb that like stretch up, and they were just eating them up. I watched the video today, and they were talking about that. They land over there, they done. They said they've been back 23 years. They done.
But then if you do, like they said, if you go through the mountains, then you gotta go through the desert. You going in the feed by the time you even get there.
This fight uphill, that's when that term uphill battle comes from. Fight uphill, bro, and then fight up a mountain where the one, like you looking up, so you don't know what type of glare or like, look at the sun is not right there. But then also they got all different types of cover. So not only are you fighting uphill battle, but you fighting uphill battle, you don't know where the fuck you at.
And knowing with an uphill battle, you never win.
Hey, who was that, bro? Was it Hannibal? When he went on through the mountains? Yeah, that was Hannibal. He lost a lot of men going through that treacherous terrain, man. Yeah, that's right.
Just to call
they come down. You win an expensive lot. The expensive great death on your side. If you do win, that's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. Jackson don't have $500. Good victory though, like win. It's a great expensive lot.
This second Ezra 16:33. The virgins should mourn having no bridegrooms.
That's why their husbands or the men they are engaged to is going to be fighting WWE, and they're not coming back. No sir.
The women should mourn having no husbands. And daughters should mourn having no helpers. In the wars, should their bridegrooms be destroyed.
Yeah, so anybody, I don't give a damn where you're at. If you have husbands or anything like that going over there to the Middle East, they're not coming back. Those Russians are not going back to Russia. Those Chinese will not go back to China and things of that nature. Hey, once they get over there, because wait, Joel, the third chapter talks about that they have to pay for what they did to the people of Israel. And our land too.
Let's say that everything going on right now is all about the controversy of Zion.
Man, that's it.
Everything, man.
Us little ones.
Yeah.
And the ratio of women surpasses men at this point in time. So when the Lord ship all these other men over there to get slaughtered, you know, Isaiah 4:1 will come to play in a major way there.
So what more proof do you need?
Well, no, if I can just make that correction, Isaiah 4:1 gonna be before. You know,
You say like we can really go over here, go over there and now, it's going to be more single women.
okay,
More single women. In the wars, should their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands should perish in famine.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 223. Oh Lord Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walks in the way of himself. That's how you see it. Like, a lot of these folks get in the world and they come back. Like, Lord, you don't know your own path. You don't know like what the Lord has in store. I mean, we know, but the point of the fact, maybe they did it the same way that they did kings. They thinking they could do this and that. Like, no. Ultimately, the scripture is that God not sure how far He's in control. He's in control. He's directing. He's directing. You know the way kings of the markets in the hands of the Lord, God not sure how far. The same way the market is in the hands of God not sure how far. Ultimately, He knows that He's directing Himself.
Especially the leaks. You saw me? I think about it, like they get some problem. Like they have those centuries being unchecked, no question. So they feel like, you know, they're a demigod over there. And they feel like, who can that heaven power tell me what to do? You know? That's what it said, you know, in Isaiah 14.
Overnight, the pride of their heart that deceived them. Like I said, they really think that they got this under control.
Yeah.
And Isaiah 14:4. Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up a proverb.
The proverb is a wise saying when you define it.
This proverb against the king of Babylon.
King of Babylon represents Esau Edom. More so than the leaks of them. The ones who are really trying to orchestrate this global lockdown 2.0. You know?
And
So
say,
what he really trying to do, he's trying to cause all by building everyone to his image. Not the image of about Hashem.
They're fighting for the birthright, man. That's what they want, man. They don't give a damn about nothing else but their birthright. Think about it, you got everything. You control everything. I mean, everything. And except really, just really that microchip situation, but the world is in your hands, but gather to him all nations. And remember, his desire is hell. Hell cannot be satisfied. Do you know how many people got per second, per minute? Right? But most importantly, what he really wants, he wants their birthright.
Everybody's a little small head. Small head. And out their own mouths, they said they want all Christians destroyed. They want all Christians dead. You know, the brother proves that they aren't the people of the Most High. So who are the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob?
Right.
These so-called lost sheep that are living in real time in today's time.
That's right. That's right.
His proverbs against the king of Babylon and say,
And Trump is the king of Babylon at this time frame. I mean, he's being controlled by the elite bank.
And he ruling like a king.
Yeah.
Because he went to war without compass.
It was done. Remember what he said. When Nero died, he said when he came back, he would give him head.
Yeah.
He said that.
He was like, he doing his thing. He's messed up, man.
Hey, man. Hey, last Trump.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
and how had the oppressor cease? The golden city cease.
Golden City represents to America.
Yes, sir.
Babylon the Great. You read Isaiah 26 and 5, so like we here, right? It goes to about like the North City.
They know that too, but they talking about taking over a alley that I already got and make it take their resources. Yeah, they think about doing that. Only
Hey, what about the news? What was the old song back in the day? Or was it you probably remember it? But anyway, it was an old song back in the day. I'm proud to be in America. Lisa, I know I'm free. That was the 80s song back in the day.
This is Isaiah 26 and 5. It says for he Isaiah chapter 26, verse 5. It said, for he bringeth down them that dwell on high.
That's your home about Shem Shot. It goes to also in Isaiah, in 21st chapter, it goes to about the host of the high ones. That's referenced to the elites of Esau here. So only the Most High is going to be in that play, or they stand through his only begotten city, house shot, bringing down the kings of the earth.
And I'm going to say this, and then when we think about the elite, don't get it twisted. Like these men, they're basis men, right? But at the same time frame, these men receive their intel from Satan, the deity Satan in himself. All these wonderful so-called demonic, demonic plans, all that shit is inspired by Satan.
All the plans, all the revelations.
Yeah, revelations.
Hey, because Satan told you how to shot what? He told him, look around. He said, I'll give you all the kingdoms of the earth. You bow down and worship me. But these small men, they did just that. They bowed down and worship Baal. They bowed down and worship Molech. They bowed down and worship Baphomet. And that's why, as they run the entire planet Earth, you see all the symbols. You see everybody who has any type of relationship with dealing with a small head, they have to worship Satan. Because Satan is what fuels this world. Because if the book of Job says he has the whole entire earth, the whole planet in the palm of his hand, who gave it to him?
That's right.
The same way that the revelations on the right hand side come from Yahweh Shem Shai to that small sect, that small elect, hope elect group. Them great revelations on the left hand side come from whom?
That small set.
That's why they give reverence to their gods. That's why they make all the sacrifices. Because they have to, what is the right word, pay homage to them?
Pay homage,
you know?
And that's why they denounce Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And that's why we uplift Yahweh Shai.
And we denounce Satan.
Exactly.
You see the balance?
This book of Ecclesiastes, Rock, chapter 10, verse 1 through 4. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Verse 2. Like he saw his rise and fall. His decision making to these people in the emergency position of them. These men wants to bring a new world order, build and something, just to try to pull it off. And it's all for his ego, so he can pretend to be the most high through technology.
Right.
You know? What the devil is trying to do. He's over there calling himself the chosen people just out of spite. You know? Because he's spiteful about their birthright. You know? Verse 2. It says, an unwise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
That shows you Esau Edom have a wise king. Look at the state of these American mentalities right here. Like everybody you think about it, 2/3 of our people have an imprint of Esau Edom. You know, so these still spiritual ignorance. You know?
Verse 2, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner the ruler of the city is, such are ye such a all that they that dwell therein.
So everybody's persuaded by the God of this world. It's so evil. So really, these people are really nothing like humans.
John 8:44. Ye are your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do.
Really goes back to the serpent within the garden, where he had that cunning, deceitful, a very devious spirit. That's only the spirit of Esau. Today's time, which is a visible counterpart of the serpent.
He was a murderer from the beginning, from my Cain, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. There you go. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Father goes really good. Right. So when the first night, he told him to go out and shoot him down. Because you look at Esau in the Bible, the serpent came. So the serpent was known for his witchcraft, and Cain was known for his violence. Right. Right. So you look at Esau, he was even when he grew up, he had opposite military full of witchcraft.
And that serpent, he has to be a watch out.
Hey, watch the movie The Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington. And also watch the movie Men Who Stare at Ghosts. They both brought witches into the military. They both implemented witchcraft into the military. Like you said, when you go to the Esau's higher up, they spread up Satanism.
Yeah.
Every echelon.
That's right. Hey, man, y'all should look at the guy named John Ty. He was a whistleblower. He was just going into how they really think that the Rothschilds really Satan themselves. And he said they have like power on the left hand side. So that makes sense, man. Why are these people scared of these particular group of men?
I'm just gonna put the conversation out there. Like Shaquan said, it makes sense. We wouldn't be surprised if they got their own form of spiritual power on the left hand side. They're able to levitate all this shit. Because what great fear? Because if them Haitians could do it out there in these country out there in Haiti, we know that they'll leak these
Those
things.
Haitian Egyptian baptized, they was doing rough on the shit.
The same miracles that Masha
You got Arabs creed. Army, you got the soldiers creed. I can't remember what the other ones are there. They have you reciting this over and over and over and over again. That's the last thing you say before you go to sleep. And it all makes you, when you think about it, it makes you have that ultimate
There's enchantment.
you have that ultimate
Put yourself in the train.
down for the program.
When you go to enchantment, go to the chorus.
Hey, what name and face is that?
Right up the street, on the right hand side. Be smooth, bro.
Well, we don't put the enchantment. That's why every song got their occasion and beat, and every song got what the chorus and the beat itself. They just enchantment. So you saying this thing, what's the name of it? The Belgian crew, the Democrat? Yeah, over there. It's the Roman guys.
If the check something, it's the got great an enchantment inside of you, right? Something mentally, something psychological, you know.
You know about Greek life, when you're in college, when you pledge and they have you do the same thing. Reciting the chords, and you're doing it over and over and over again.
The Deltas, the sororities,
And all of them do.
their guidance is Minerva. So they got this like some type of like sailors, pretty much. I think all like the different fraternities or sororities, y'all go back to Rothschild, Rockefeller.
Each particular set protects the family. There's a representation of this 13-year black family. Against the boule. What does the boule mean? Chief.
But then the gatekeeper, because they call it divine.
Something like the council or something.
Yeah, they call it the divine.
That's right, bro.
But it's similar to, you know what else from the sound like the way? If you look it up, the Sanhedrin.
Hey,
And the Sanhedrin, they go to the chief council.
I think that's what that boule means. Something around those guys.
Yeah, so
You
you go
got it, bro?
to the boule.
B-O-U-L-E.
Can't forget about the Eastern Star. They're spread up off of that.
Yeah.
There's a star,
Yeah.
you know.
And the red is red, yellow, white.
Came across a video today, and it was this elderly Jacob. They were talking about witchcraft. He said he learned that he had witchcraft that couldn't place in the world.
That's why the Iranians,
She said,
The other video.
yeah. She said it's all gifted up in a different package though. Christianity, Satanism. But she said no, it's a lie. She said all of it goes back to Satanism.
Well, that's why Iranian Shah referred to America as the great Satan.
Yep.
And they got these videos circulating now where they got the missile that's coming out the atmosphere and coming down and crashing down. It was a depiction of the Statue of Liberty, but it was really the head of Baal.
But weren't they burning the goat in Iran? Well, it was burning Baphomet. Yeah, it was burning Baphomet
So
straight
guess
up.
what? You know that deity or the Marduk? Guess what? I get some belief system so they show you what they're about.
Frustrate the tokens of the liars and make it the diviners mad that turn wise
Tokens, signs. They're getting revelations too. Hey, read that again.
frustrate the tokens of the liars.
Right. So they're going to the left-hand side of Satan to get their signs, get their tokens, but the Most High is going to frustrate them. So basically, what they're doing, everything they're doing is for the attainment of the New World Order. That's why it tells you in the book of Job, they're going to have straits on every side. They're going to get so close, but they're not going to be able to attain it. And that's the worst feeling in the world. You can even see it, but you can't touch it. Yeah, that's right.
Boulay goes into council of nobles, advising the queen. So advisors to the king. Like he's giving Living Sharpie, giving his calendar, his public figures, sell out books. And they're nothing but advisors to the king. When they sent to the house shop, we got the king of the city. So his spirits come together in the process of revelation.
And make it diviners mad that turn the wise men back.
How do you make a diviner mad when basically his sign or his token or his omen doesn't come true? Because he's telling you, yeah, this is going to happen, but it doesn't come into fruition.
It was time for weeks, generations to get it.
Yeah.
But now, when he make a move, prophecy is right there. Now every move he make, prophecy is right there on it. And there was a time he lived in generations.
And I'm going to say this, when nobody calling out the Rothschilds except for the Pope. Now everybody calling out the Rothschilds. Bro.
Nobody was calling out the small heads really in general.
That's it, bro. That's right.
Like nobody was saying, exposing them.
Right. Now everybody's talking about the Rothschilds and shit.
Don't credit give it to them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the Rothschild and all that.
No, it's
It says, then shall the wicked be revealed.
right.
It's this, we're in the time where the wicked is revealed. So their eyes is exposed. You know what the eyes is? It's that great projection that you presented to the world of yourself. The great white savior of the planet Earth, man. You know? It's the great white savior, the great white bully, the Debo. Because you got two faces. In one breath, you're Goliath, but in another breath, you're so-called Jesus Christ. You present both faces to the world. It depends on what agenda you have, man. You know? But their eyes has been torn down. Go ahead, bro.
I'll just ask what you said because they had Sam Altman, which is the so-called CEO of OpenAI, ChatGPT. He's a small head, right? And they claim to be chosen people. So Tucker Carlson asked him, do he believe in the Most High? He's like, stumble in the glumble. Told him, like you said, you a chosen people. You atheist. You chose by who? So then we asked you, is there a God, you know what I'm saying, physically, scientifically, that could be, like,
That's what he said. Let your yay be yay, your nay be nay. They do it. If you go there and act with the Billy J.C., that's good shit. Yeah, intellect don't believe it. They don't believe it. They do it. That shit crazy, bro.
We brought this out last Friday. You know, how about when like the Torah Jewish people warred against the taboo?
Yeah.
They fighting right now. This is like a total riot.
So you know, so if a house divided should not stand, what's going to happen over there in Atlanta, Israel, with those small houses? It's leaving the house.
And then you got the ones that live here in the U.S. who call themselves keeping the Judaic law, hating the Zionist smallness that are over there. So they're completely divided, both in their own so-called territory and abroad.
Russia versus Americans. The house of Esau.
Man, the house of Esau is through.
Who was that? Yeah, he versus the world.
Somebody really persecuted.
Back in Isaiah 45, and turning wise men backward and making their knowledge foolishness. Wise men backward, make their knowledge foolishness. You sit back and think about what he's trying to do. Esau trying to make AI replace inside. I dealing with it. Okay? And you see how fragile this shit is. Because if you go up the data set of the AI over there, okay? The fact that you got limitations and you're trying to replace unlimited power, you disqualified. That's stupid even trying to do that. That's childish. Like what this whole new world order is childish. This nigga trying to put the CD to everybody. Right. Want to watch everything you do here. Man, that's childish. You trying to regulate creation. Yeah, trying to micromanage creation and technology. You know? And he's limited. That's another thing that we see about Esau. This nigga limited. Because no matter how mighty, because the American military, very military, guess what? It has limitations. We're seeing that it has limitations, man. Esau got all this technology, witchcraft, and AI, but guess what? He still got limitations. So the Most High exalted him high to any heathen, he still limits it like a real man. And this is what's being exposed, like how you be as a man when you still a man.
And every dynasty followed. Sports teach you that. You had the 49ers, you had Dallas Cowboys, the Lakers, you know, Chicago Bulls, but all of them hit that wall. The only kingdom or dominion that would never hit that wall is the kingdom of the Yahweh.
And when did you realize the team hit the wall and always in the playoff series?
That's right.
And I'm gonna say this, Yahweh Shai is immortal. He's immortal. So you know what I mean? Because we had King Solomon, they came to the end, King David, they're immortal. So this is like the story. It's all about Yahweh, man.
If I just died, you up because Daniel told me to do it.
It's right.
That's a back up.
Yeah, and what does the Most High show? He gives demonstration after demonstration. And you said, men is just very important. But the Egyptian Empire, and you get into the history, you go, damn, Egypt was really, or like Babylon, like the ancient Babylon. Yeah, even that, but it's like, why does the Most High raise these kingdoms up just to destroy them?
That's to show you
I am. Yeah, come on, man. This is what Esau does, right? He'll take a regular Jacob, make him famous, and then destroy him. Like, we can make you a guy, we can make you a nobody.
OJ.
Yeah, OJ, yeah.
I have how many in that white Bronco?
This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 5 NLT. In that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes.
Yep.
Scoundrels will not be respected.
Well, basically, like the scripture says, this is the man that made the earth to tremble. Because the Most High is all about pulling your car, pulling your lift of the skirt up, man. Because he always shows demonstrations that men are just King Nebuchadnezzar. Eating the grass, growing the nails. But do you know how freaking big Nebuchadnezzar was, man? He was bigger than a Rothschild.
Yes, sir.
You know, he was bigger than the big, you know what I mean? Because he was part of that golden head. And the Most High brought him down, man.
And Nebuchadnezzar was out there on the front line. He was out there when he accomplished shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at the elites, you know, they're just behind the scenes, the bumpers and shit. And like you said, with Nebuchadnezzar, they was just niggas seen.
It's big underlevel. They didn't have to hide there.
And this is Daniel 2:39. And after you, Nebuchadnezzar, shall arise another kingdom inferior to you, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
I didn't want to say too much. That point was on my spirit. If the Most High brought King Nebuchadnezzar down, this golden image, man, this is the most inferior kingdom. Most High brought Nebuchadnezzar down. When you get to the Genesis, and you go into Nimrod, and you know, like those kingdoms, we call it Earth. Bro, Esau builds his whole framework off this. Esau and Jacob, they all build their Egyptology, they all build their mathematics, they all go back to that. And where is it now? Where are those people now? Hey, go ahead, bro.
The number bar is different too, because when you think about it, even in the garden, it stated that he was wiser than any other beast on the field, right? But then he got disassociated from them. So when he got back as Esau, when he had to get back there, he married those Hamites. That's how he got reconnected. So that's where you got the profile now.
But it said, Haman, all right, he was known for his prudence. He was in the sense, Ezra and the Apocrypha, Haman was known for his knowledge. He was renowned to the point where they called him father. He was a great counselor, just like the serpent of the garden. You see?
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, chapter 47, starting in verse 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
And why does it say the Chaldeans? Because those are ancient Babylon, bro. With the elites, the world, everybody marveled at, they all go back to the Babylonians. They all go back to the ancient science of the Babylonians, man.
This is another song that you're bringing on.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Like you said, like 60 minutes, 60 seconds. That's the Babylonian system. That's why it's so disharmonious. That's why like the harmony of the ways of the Western world is out of harmony with the earth, with the Yahweh's creation. Alright? Yeah. Try to offset, daylight savings and shit.
They said it was you with 2018?
Yeah.
But Ethiopia.
Yeah. If I go back up, you about to burn.
I watched one video brother off TikTok sent me browser I can check your phone to. They said that like the nation of Israel is like year 5,700 or something.
Yep.
And they try to pinpoint that with like Lord said he coming back in the year, that same year. So they trying to basically do the time.
So like the one speed was deep, right? Was that so
Yeah, we went to Europe.
That's confusion. That's confusion, man. Different cultures have a different time frame and stuff, man. Same earth, different years.
For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people.
Y'all ever saw the movie or read the book called The Great Gatsby? That took place in like the 1920s, right? That's when America. Yeah, right. And I remember, I remember in the 120s, they said those rolling cigars with $100 bills. All right, America was that, man, the dollar's back like gold. Hey, what the 1920s to 1960s, 1950s, those the America was the lady people. Because when you came back from the war, you brought back the spoil. What happened after World War II? You had the Jeeps, the manufacturing, all these places. Shit, man. Bro, I tried to.
I didn't even see it. I was like, I want that. Hey, what part though?
You gotta take it.
Yeah.
As long as we throw the corn in, it's the old way. We good. It's side joke. It's side joke.
Man, I'm done.
Once I got it, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And somebody bad, man. That was bad as fuck by saying. You know?
Prince of the Air.
Back in Isaiah 47, verse 6, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into the hand and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient has very heavily I laid thy yoke.
So the father gave us over to Esau by disobedience. The devil went too far. Okay? Here it is. It's supposed to be a punishment for us for disobeying the Heavenly Father. This devil, he pushes us to disobey the Heavenly Father.
A little displeased with you further afflicted.
And see, that's another thing. We're in a time when Esau being punished. That's why it's going bad for the devil. Okay? That's why he's having to attack it. Okay, but he's rolling out in the order because now the Lord is
Verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
you go into a lady, it represents a status. You know? You go into a lady, it represents a status. The Rothschild are the lords of the earth. These elite babies, they're the lords of the earth. So that's America has to be a lady. Because really, like just looking at this shit now, the petrodollar really stronger than the military. Because with that petrodollar, no matter what, it's like a straitjacket on these goddamn nations.
You are absolutely
Like
right.
they can get American military off of them. They got a better chance of defeating the American military than they goddamn petrodollar. You know?
Because when you think about the sword, the dollar is the sword. Because even in the scripture, Ecclesiastes tells you that money is a weapon.
Yeah, right.
So you're right, bro.
Right. Hey, because that's why even now, because as you got these other nations rationing out oil, they get rid of St. Patrick's Day here, man. Because they goddamn dollar just, because you got to think about it. The least made system for America was America can print paper and get actual resources. You give these nations nothing whatsoever. But it was under the guise of American security, because the American military is like a big security blanket on the earth. Like you can reassure that you trade with you. You have to worry about pirates and all this shit. You have to worry about the ship is not coming because American security is going to trade. So now in our friends what they doing, they showing like they can't secure all you niggas, man. This shit a hoax. Like you go into the dollar, it's a fucking guy.
No, go ahead, baby.
I was at the dollar, it's a big Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, that's it.
You know? But then on the flip side too, at least from the crash, because they got to really get new city out there.
It's on, just like that Godfather. You remember Barzini said that he could protect the gun if he would have came in with the deal? And I thought about that when you was breaking it down.
Then America basically said the Godfather. You know when the Godfather, Michael had like he had that gun?
Yeah.
That's the American base. Niggas that, they're not touching.
But
Military base is all about the terms. That's why you see, like, it's a bit to make you think I ain't fucking going anywhere. But when you go over there, you realize, like, we talking about that, they never saw the SpongeBob when they came through a pop there. Iran came through a pop that motherfucker. Now you can see the turns they really up about them.
Really spoiled. Go back there. Get that real good.
Hey, if I can say, because you spoke about how, we got a better chance of being the military than the dollar, which brings back to the point, the El Shabbat, they bring out that same, what was he, Rockefeller? Like, we care not who make the laws, but get him control over the nation's money. So if you got control over the nation's money, plural, then you have the power, you know what I'm saying, to be able to dictate it if you wanted to flourish or if you want to destroy it.
Because see, like, they say, like, America lost the war with Iraq, militarily they lost. But Iraq still got to sell their gold and their oil by the dollar. That was the win. That's all they win.
yeah, they can lose the dollar.
Yeah, like, really, when you look at it, it's all about people that took slaves. I mean, the chick that was vice president, she was CIA. You ain't heard nothing about Venezuela, right? But guess what? Venezuela, America tells Venezuela what to do with their oil now. With Maduro, they couldn't do that. That's why you have Russia and China and Iran being able to come and ship oil from Venezuela. So the whole thing with Venezuela was just to get in there so America can control their oil. So they can strengthen the petrodollar. So now, what we seeing now is that they because of going back to the elites made America the lady of kingdoms. Okay? And the elites want to go into this new world order, but they wanted to go in being perpetual now. Now you're seeing shifting going. Yeah. So now, goddamn, these nations also looking at America like shit. You got no life. You know, and that's what they call this is one of those governments burning the fire.
That's why we're trying to look at how America wants to try to take control of the Strait of the Hormuz, because then they can dictate what's going in and out by oil, and they can profit and shut down whoever they don't want going through that with oil.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So, I mean, hopefully it's like to be true.
Okay, back in Isaiah 47, verse 7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
Well, you got to think about it now, because you really see how grand something is when it comes to trying to dismantle that motherfucker. You know? And you look at, this global system and how everything is compared to the dollar value, you see how grand it was. You see how you saw America thought like you would forever. Nigga, you balling and you $40 trillion in debt.
That's crazy.
Like, what type of system is that? You know? We owe 2,000, they will leave us alone. America bought $1 trillion every couple days. And I'm like, goddamn, we borrow my little 800 when you borrow your shit. Borrow my shit from you.
They got nerve, give me a credit score.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Yeah, so he saw, when you're in the home, you don't remember the last end. You know? It's just like when they say you in the spot, you know yourself drinking, you might got a few conversations going on with the lady, you're not thinking about this hangover you can have. You're in the moment. Yeah, America just been in the moment. That's why America been like, fuck it. Bomb that. Put sanctions on them niggas. You know? They got 24,000 sanctions on Russia. God damn. Yeah, that's damn one for every citizen. You got
Revelation 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman set upon a scarlet colored beast.
And that's America. America sent on the scarlet color beast. You know, this beast going into all these even like superpowers that reign in Greece. From the Greeks, the Romans, the French, Spanish, remained invaded, remained minor, British, and America came out of Britain. When America was their little horn, okay, then what? Started to dominate the rest of these Edomite governments because the elites, they started financing them. You see, America was like a blank canvas. And this is when the elites was going back. What you were saying, how it's more witchcraft in America than anywhere else?
Yeah, this Emily West Indian lady.
Yeah.
She was just basically saying that America is the really home of wickedness, but she said witchcraft is just disguised as such. The way Satanism it's not disguised as Satanism, it's disguised as Christianity, black culture, so on and so forth. But she said, holidays and things of that nature.
What did John Simon say? That's why the Watch House is supposed to be stationed in Europe. That's more closer to the east. So that's what it's saying.
I got it real quick. Revelation 17:5. And upon her head was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots.
The great mother goes into this word we talk, which means the source of the mother is wrong. Okay?
And abomination of the earth.
Abomination of the earth. But see, the elites came to America, they were going to deal on a bunch of things. Like the New World. Right? Because see, a lot of the elites got ran off from certain governments over there in Europe. And see, when they came to America, they was able to start from the blank canvas. Because even the Revolutionary War, which America broke free from the British Crown, Then the war of 1812, America won that war, but it put them in debt to the bankers. You see? So it was all about the bankers keeping America in debt, you know, at the same time running a debt scheme throughout the whole earth. You know, you got that.
Full of names of blasphemy that is 7 heads and 10 arms.
Government, all right, they dominated the earth at one point in time. Like you said, the Greeks, the Romans, all right, Germany the Native, Germany the Minor, all right, the French, the Spanish, and the British. Okay, on 10 horns, those true nations, no vassal states, man. And then today, on 10 horns are the EU nations, man. Okay, because you can see the EU is completely subordinate to America, man. Go ahead.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color,
Yep.
and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
She was decked with scarlet, purple color. You never know what royalty. Decked with pearls, because at least that decked America out when you think about it. Okay, because the American middle class, going back to the 50s, like you were saying, the American middle class was like living like royalty amongst these other nations. That's why Americans can go on vacation and they exchange that, you know, brothers who went out the country. You see now the money exchange, bro.
Foreign exchange.
You know? So imagine, that's another thing too, because even going back to the American military, the American military, they buy out a lot of these generals. Like they when they got Saddam Hussein, they bought out a lot of those generals. And they just led the American military right to those people. You know, Venezuela, they said spend over 500 million buying people off. Just walk straight to that nigga with their own. Think about it. If you in Venezuela, if they give you $10 million in Venezuela, you're a billionaire. You get 10 million American dollars, you're a billionaire. So imagine having that power. You print the shit.
Or you was an imprint puppet leader?
Yeah.
Like the Iran?
Yeah.
The little puppet leader they had?
What? The shop.
Yeah, that was in the 1950s? Yeah. Yeah, but I was the point. Like you could buy out a leader. You could implant, you could overthrow the government, implant your little leader.
Because this system is based on you trading debt money for actual resources. This nigga controls the debt once he's printing. So this nigga creating wealth out of things.
You get actual resources off the top of the
That's a magician. That's a goddamn magician, man.
You can read that verse over there.
Verse 4, Revelation 17, verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color.
Right there. In Luke 16 and 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day.
These are the elite bankers, man.
Fared sumptuously every day.
Yep. And these are the elite bankers. They have more than eyes can wish. Okay? So now with these devils, like brothers and sisters, it's about control. Because they got this money shit on lock. The money don't need, all right, I mean, the elite don't need no actual paper money. They want power. They want control. Because their money system is a game we play. They don't play that money game we play.
So what's making them rush? Then you have to think about Revelation chapter 12 and 12. He knows he has but a short time. And then when you go into North in the Greek, it goes into to see. What is that? Operation Living Glass. Hey, Elder Monopoly did a video about this Edomite chick. She was basically saying that they've been seeing these scenarios and all timelines convert to one outcome. That's the rulership of Yahusha. That little mountain. You know what I'm saying? Down in the 2nd chapter, how this mountain flowed throughout the 4 corners of the world. That's what they see. Now, when you go into the Avengers Affinity War,
think about that.
what did old boy say?
Doctor
Dr.
Strange
was looking in that looking glass, but he said that it was one outcome that they want. But that's bullshit. Old girl said all timelines led to one outcome, and that's the rulership of Yahweh. And they see that. So if they seen that, they saw Yahweh ruling, they saw the 144,000 ruling, they saw all our people in harmony, man.
They
So
saw
that
themselves
bitch
in
was
slavery.
shook. She didn't like that.
They saw themselves in slavery too.
The thing about it, bro, what's keeping them from coming get nothing?
Right.
If they kidnap the sovereign city presidents and this white, why they can't come get us?
Think about that all the time.
Yeah, because it's a power behind
That's right.
it. They know that. Yeah, they know it's a power behind it.
They know you the problem.
Yeah.
When they tell now king that he can't touch it, they call it will.
Long. Get with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness.
Look at that golden cup. That golden cup goes into like the top position. Like if you're in the Olympics, you're shooting for the gold. You got what the gold, the silver, and the bronze. So if America has that golden cup, meaning she's the source of wickedness. And the Most High had fortified her in the spirit to be that harlot for the entire earth in witchcraft.
And then the gold is a lure too.
Yeah.
So you can see what's in it. See, people want to not, because see, these are these Gulf Arab states, because these are Gulf Arab states, the Israelites, they just become super wealthy just because America, that's really America.
Shalom.
That's America war. On Cyrus, because on Cyrus get a kickback from all the drugs. You know? So what we're seeing with America, see, America got interests all over the place. Like America got so many interests, but what do you do to spread itself thin? You can protect all this shit. You know? But that's what's being exposed. You got this shit.
It's Revelation 18:23. And the light of a candle should shine no more at all in thee.
Woo! It's like the camera. And then you can go back to the okay? Because they run the earth with wickedness. You see? Because even with show you how strong this shit is, because before they went to war with Iran, we did have the younger generation in Iran. They really wanted to start doing deals with the West. Like those children were being westernized over there. Like you look at Iran, they started with the women. You know what I'm saying? Because they took away the mandatory hijab in like 2023. Because they started making a big fuss about it because we had all the CIA and the side inventory of the CIA. Because see, the internet is good for them. Going back, like, even before the military, this is why we try to break it down morally first. You know, we try to break it down morally and economically, then you come through and finish off with the sport. You know? He was doing very good with our friends, but it backfired when they did their first strike to kill Alatonia. Because then they start bombing the schools and civilians, so now the younger generation like, man, this nigga ain't shit. You know? So when they just show you the power of the Lord, even like let's get out of Revelation 17, and you keep them down.
Let's think about that when you go out, like you're not a counter the crib, when you blow that out, you don't know what.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It becomes totally ineffective. You know what I'm saying?
Most out blowing their light out. Because now people are seeing, right, the very worst place in the during the time when America was best situation for people. Then it just kept getting more and more corrupt. Especially when you go back to Reagan. Reagan was the one that really came in and gave all authority to these corporations. Took all authority away from the workers. Because see, they call it the deal, the American economy used to function around the middle class, the working class. That's why the middle class is so powerful. And then Reagan came in and started to strip, like, because we had the union, and what the union did, it kept, whenever production went up, the wages went up. But Reagan came and broke that shit up. So production kept going up, the wages stopped. America's haven't gotten a real wage since 1978.
Yeah, real wage.
Yeah, real wage. Shit like that.
How much it is?
Yeah, that's the minimum wage.
Yeah, minimum wage, yeah.
When the New Deal came, which it was for Israelites, even though it wasn't still before Israelites. When the minimum wage was supposed to be able to sustain your household on minimum wage. That's why they were established. You know, when established that, people were going to be established that coming out of the Great Depression, so that the average student, my family, all right, could have a piece for their they had a little piece of work. That's why you can have grandparents simpler to you know. But as it kept going, the elite just started siphoning their money to the corporation and turning everybody into their debt slave.
I got that definition for you, bro. This is the definition of real wage increase, just for edification. It says real wage increase is a raise in wages that exceeds the rate of inflation, resulting in higher purchasing power for workers. It means that despite rising prices, an individual can buy more goods and services than before. It is calculated by subtracting the inflation rate from the normal wage increase, basically going into as prices go up, your wage is supposed to stay above prices. So that gap is like, that's your real wage right there, because that's what you got left over after you take care of all your expenses. But like the Quan was going into, Esau flipped that shit over. He turned it upside down.
So they what you call the COL cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
It's a BS, but they're not giving how 90 cents gonna be a cost of living. You know, this shit going up. You know, when the dollar is diminished, all right, it's like 10%. Everybody kind of 10%.
Hell not. Even your veterans getting like 0.23, like 2.3%, which average to be like $90.
This is going into like the runs in Israel, just like that ongoing conflict between the two. It said that the runs 5,000-year history under attack by the Rothschilds and central bankers. In 1953, Iran's CIA Mossad MI6 backed was called Operation Ajax. The CIA MI6 MOS ousted Prime Minister Roosevelt after he nationalized oil.
Yeah, so he had those British corporations that were getting all the profit from the oil. You see, that's what Esau wanted to do. He wanted to turn the whole earth into a slave pit, to where there's only a few oligarch families that's making all the money right off of themselves. Okay? What they do, they come to the top of the government, put a puppet in, and that government starts to modify, all right, their policy within the American companies to come in and extrapolate the resources and then hire the locals competing for them. So, that's what they do. That's what they do. All right, they did in Syria, they did in Australia, they did in all these different countries in Africa. They've done it in several countries in Central South America. Even when you go to Dole, banana, yeah, when you go into that Dole, that's Panama. Yeah, it's Panama, but the Dole is an Edomite company. Those Edomites own all this shit. So when you look at all these different corporations, because when you look at it, when you go back to America being like royalty, you get everything sent to you. Like America, you go to America, you can eat Mediterranean food, you can drink Italian wine, you can go get you some French cognac. You can't do that everywhere in the world. America got all these goods coming here because everybody needs the dollar to keep their economy going. So everybody got to send their goods here to get these American products. So you get the actual abundance, the actual goods that you're just sending off paper.
And this is Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
And that's why these nations put up with America. So you look at it from the ground level, you're like, man, they didn't do that in America do everything. Then you know the military, and then you see, oh, this is goddamn dollar. The motherfucker balling off that dollar. Because the elites of these other nations like to hire, because every nation got their oligarchs. They families in the background, they're really running the government, releasing
In 2016, you took $10,000 of American currency to the DR for that Dominican peso. I did the math, that's probably something. That's crazy. 10 stacks is 400,000.
So if you give the vice president $2 million, go get this nigga. Get this nigga, man.
And back Revelation 18:3, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Because to participate in this American market, you have to get down and see it.
Right.
You got to go to those rituals. You got to be on board. You got to push this. You got to push democracy. You got to allow Africa. You got to allow feminism. You see, 'cause they were trying to put that shit in Iran. They got rid of the jail in 2023. You know, they were trying to top it. Time was against. They had to rush that shit because now, because if Esau had time, he would have eventually got the top of it. If he had time, before he got to be rushed.
That's some wisdom.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yeah, so these merchants, all these major corporations, they send their goods to America because it goes to the consumer market. So America is a market based off consumer goods. People in America buy shit not because of purpose, but a lot of times for status. Yeah. Like that ugly ass Tesla truck. The ugliest car ever made.
It feels like a roach.
But it plays to your ego. I got a Tesla truck. They buy shit for status. So America, so they can create anything over there and ship that shit over here because they know they got some suckers.
And that's a real foreign hustle.
Yeah.
They could make something that's really cheap, but it has a designer name on it and sell it to an American.
But T.I. said back in the day, get a Benz, and I expect your opinion in it, or I'll value your opinion in it.
It's crazy. So like, it's crazy to say that they just trending now. They got a Balenciaga bag, but it's a yellow trash bag with a rope on it, and it's selling for $1,700.
Now I want to say that Balenciaga goes into the worship of
I think that's what they're saying. Boots, dumbass boots,
The Mario boots.
Got a little more gold. Verse 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore.
It's all the tactics, you know, even the car. Ferrari, Lamb, Rolls Royce, Audi, Benz, all this foreign, man.
Because when they play for the consumerism, Americans look at people in Europe like, okay, that's upper echelon.
Yeah.
So they're playing to the hustle.
Yeah.
Like you take pride in buying the European designer,
Like the what James Bond's out of here.
Yeah.
You know, because you got the alley, you like the spot. You know what I mean? Like, that shit, they got the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver, and precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple and silk.
designer, fine linen.
That's right.
Designer. You know what I'm saying? And like you go to those countries, a lot of that stuff cheap in that country. A lot of that designer here is cheap in those actual countries, man.
We could go back to Moab, make the same base frame, and we just stick a logo on them.
And all of them come from the same place. Oh, yeah. They just put their brand on.
I want to say it's Gucci. They interview. He was like, in the interview, like, you know, how are those glasses Gucci? So the frame is made out of wood from the tree. So it makes it designer. And then the interviewer, the dude that made it, I think it's Gucci. He basically had a circumventing answer. But it's basically like Americans buy it. I understand the fabric. The fabric, that's Gucci or whatever. But the frame is just something, it's a wooden frame. So how is that Gucci?
And all you need to do to sell it for LeBron, man, put Jigga,
Nike.
Yeah.
Back in the scripture. And silk and scarlet, and all thyine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine.
Because that's Babylon, right?
Yep.
So ancient Babylon didn't have frankincense. I think one of the Dallas ones did. So they got to be talking about it. It was considered a fact. Yeah.
And oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts.
This is an import country. Export shit out here. Go ahead.
It's okay. Are these y'all's cars? Okay. They're fine right now, but they are gonna start towing at a certain point. So if y'all are right here and can see it, I just want to make sure y'all
What's the
know.
time frame?
Huh?
What's the time
It's
frame?
after 5.
They,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But you'll see them. So as long as y'all are right here, I'm
Thank you.
okay. I just don't want somebody to get their car towed.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Back in Revelation 18 to 13. and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses.
Like you said, everything is in Babylon.
But you can get what? Land,
Yeah.
Get beef,
And then go back to ancient Rome, man. You had like the era, picture ancient Rome. And like it was a big hub where everybody sold their products. And like America was a big hub where Ishmael could come here and set up their tent. All right, Grecian restaurant, you know what I mean? Go to New York, it's a melting pot. Everybody, all the foreigners, they hustle to sell their products here. So this ain't no they great place now, man.
It's all liquor the sword. These merchants from other countries are benefiting by coming over here, like say with they nail shop, weave stores, etc.
The biggest consumer exchange right here. A weave store. If it wasn't a such thing as a silver kingdom, there would be no such thing as weave. There would be no weave industry. If it wasn't for the curses, there would be no weave industry. So the foreigners, people downplay Jake like an MF.
They capitalize off the curses.
But they capitalize off the curses, man. Jordans, they make Jordans like I heard it's a $5 shoe. It takes $5 to make a Jordan shoe.
And Jordan don't even wear them.
Jordan don't even wear
I've never
Jordan.
seen Jordan and Jordan.
I've never seen wear Jordan boys, bro.
Outside of the basketball court, no.
This nigga pushed Haynes more than he pushed Jordan.
You fuck really got this, you know?
Yeah. It's like Jordan looked down on Jay, man. But the point is, man, this is when the metal gets destroyed, the other are going to be said that they're cash cows, you know?
I know the spirit of the Lord will push these nations. Because the merchant going back to all these Olive Garden families, they get wealthy off of America. You know? That's why they always turn the blind eye when America do all these big houses. Nobody really say that to them, they get rich with this nigga. You know?
That's a bad good point on. This is my last one. Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency.
The beauty of the 13 international bankers, their project, their beauty was America. Their main hope, their Pills' main hope.
That's right. Shall be as when the Most High overthrows Sodom and Gomorrah.
What happened with Sodom and Gomorrah?
Verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there.
Ishmael corner store. So they call the Juke man, that's really Ishmael. The liquor stores, you know. Because the Arab is just the Arabs been pitching tent for thousands of years. That's their hustle. The Arabs are natural merchants. But then all the heathens are merchants, man. Moab, Elam, boy, I tell you, a $5 place. Damn African brain shop, you know?
Because Ishmael got a lot to pay too. Because even when you go to Psalm, the 83rd chapter, it starts with Edom and Ishmael. And when you think about Joseph going into slavery, that Midianite, those are the Arabs. So they have a keen sense of slavery, man. Where do you think Esau learned that shit from?
And what do you think, why? I'm sorry, what did you say?
Hey, them fucking Arabs, man.
And why do you think most Jake in Africa became Muslims?
Huh?
Fucking Arabs.
Them Arabs, yeah.
The Arab slave trade was horrendous, man.
That's right, bro. Hey, last little portion. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
And everyone got rich off of it. There's a lot of people got rich off the $50,000 system. There's a lot of people that made it. That's why, you know, America would like to go to see that. Because you can come. There was a time when you could come over here and come, especially as a heathen, you come over here and get tax free for a certain time of year, get grants. Okay? You can come up.
Think about this. Think about like in the 80s and 90s, right? You stacked up anywhere from 40 to 50,000, and you go home and convert that money. You know, you good. You fucking good. And now you just come back to the States, and then work from time to time and just add on to it. You a fucking king living in a fucking state, another country, because of that petro bar.
Like you said, it starts something. You go back and you see your son. He come back and say his son don't keep this shit. So that's why these nations, that's why, you know, they feel a little like facts.
This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 5. Upon her forehead was a name written,
mystery Babylon is a mystery, but the prophets know the mystery. That's right, bro. The Lord gave the mystery to the prophets. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, and Babylon the Great. You know? So that means that this devil here is going to be on another level when it comes to the wickedness. His military might, okay, his wealth, he was on a whole other level. Okay? Because no empire ever had a system where they could create wealth. You know? That's why the American military was so tough, because they had an unlimited budget. You know? That's why even now, like you said, Iran was trying to run an empire, but the niggas got so much. They gonna have to do that for years. Because America got so much of it, they got so many of them motherfuckers. You score 10 and then you pull back over 20. You know? So it's like, this nigga Babylon is great. So you see how great because now you taking him down, it's like, dang, dismantling this man's military, his petrol dollar, you see how great the Lord built this thing up.
And so we get to brother, also like the harlots in Greek, it goes into the poor day, and if you get pornography books, it gets to the point that says, of Babylon, God is the chief seat of idolatry.
And therefore, name also can be applied to spiritual fornication.
Chief seat of idolatry. And because going back to Esau captain of Satan, the idol worship, put the hard group, Olek, you know. Matter of fact, get that in Jeremiah 50
Back in Revelation 15 verse 5, the mother of harlots and abomination in the abomination of the earth.
Yep, and the mother of abomination of the earth.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
And the saints are the Israelites. It said drunken, which means she was in a drench. Because you look at all the blood of the Israelites that was shed to build this empire. You know, hundreds of millions of Israelites died to build the American empire. You know? Go ahead.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai,
yeah, but even in the 90 days, right, the martyrs of Yahweh Shai, the Lord allow some of the believers to be martyred for him return. We're just going to expedite that return. Go ahead.
and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Hey, John wondered with great admiration. So John seen a beautiful woman. Because you look at it like from the outside looking in, man, these nations look at America with admiration.
But John literally gravitated.
Yeah,
Like, he's a bad bitch.
You see like color purple. You know, and it was Seeley, right? You know how Seeley looked. Then there was a woman that came to stay with them for a while. How Seeley looked up to her. She was outspoken. This the one coming at her like how he came to Seeley. Yeah. And it's like same thing with the like people of the other nations. And they saw like an American woman, the women of the other nations be like, whoa. They'll look at how the men look at her. I want that same power, you know?
That's how these nations get America. And that's why even with the New World Order, these other nations are shit. I want that power. I want that. For these nations, these governments, these upper echelons of these nations, they really see the American power. So they're like, I want this shit. And now the Lord has showed them the vulnerability in America. Now they really gonna be going for this shit.
And so, bro, if you really can see power in the world, outside looking in, it's hidden in the park. You know, if you so close up on the line, you really, like these Americans can't see how much power America really has because they're so close. But if you are far off, you see the full imprint of America.
And the thing about it, America got all these bases everywhere. We ain't never seen China build no base in New Orleans.
Nah.
No. Hell no.
But America just go anywhere, build a base, fly airplane, put up the aircraft carrier, you know, hell, kidnap your president, you know. People like, damn, we had a meeting.
Walk into your shop. Hey, Psalms 37:35. I've seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
Yeah, see, the thing is, he spread himself too far. That's right. You know? He's too far away from his home base, man. Right. He got too many things going on that he can't defend. Because he got to say, he's powerful, but he's still overreach. Right. You know? And now he's exposed because that's when you get hit boxing with. Yeah, yeah. You see? You get hit when you overreach, you get overconfident. Those boys in the fight, you get overconfident, you punching you. And then it's told. Correct me if I'm wrong, they say it ain't even the hardest puncher to knock you out.
Hell no. It's the ones you don't see coming. The ones they ain't prepared for.
It's Lamentations 2 and 15. I'm gonna read it in 10. I will pass by the journey at you and scoff and so beautiful Jerusalem and saying, is this the city called the most beautiful in all the world, joy for all the earth?
And we had that power. So we have power from our Washington. They should do about King David or Mike. See, they understood. See, the nation wasn't fearful. Okay? See, we got Lord eventually what? We take it down. Okay, so see, Esau has become proud. Okay? And rebellion. Now we really see
Verse 16. And verse 16. All your enemies mock you, they scoff and stare and say, we have destroyed her at last. We have long waited for this. It is finally here.
Yeah, so these nations, they mock we feel. You know? Because they invaded our power because we were the dominant power. All wealth flowed to King David. All wealth flowed to King Solomon. Okay? And yeah, they want that for them, for themselves. And another thing with the war, it's a time for the youth to depopulate. You know? And they can just send, they want to draft everywhere. They want to be popular, you really want to get rid of all these fighting things. You know? That's how you take the house. Get rid of these fighting things. Then also too, they want these nations to weaken each other. They want to set up a super state where Israel is like that. You know? These got a agenda. They want that young King David in South.
Population just recently, the Army raised up the limit to 42.
18.
Oh, yeah.
And like a bitch.
Hell no.
They're gonna give you a bag, they're gonna record it, fuck up, figure it out. Give you a bag like this.
Okay, a bag and an info and push your ass out there.
This is Ezekiel 36 and 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours of possession.
Okay, so another thing too, you British. You British, you trying to act like you're innocent. This whole thing is the British. No dog. Yeah, Jericho, really, Jericho was gone. You got them British, you were the Balfour Declaration. Balfour was what? He was a British colony, man. So, British, you gave birth to America and was colony. Okay? So you're not deep. You're understanding for this.
Goes to the word aha, goes to the kingdom to rejoice in misfortune. We'll show you how these elites and really just these other nations in general, they take the British and all the downfall as the curses. We got our name. It says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Come on our land. That's why when you jump to Zechariah now, it sticks a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. That's why.
now we're seeing the boys get busy because the small have to catch their way in there. You're living in a bomb shelter now. Now they said today, they said that when Iran took out the radar, that now they went from a 30-minute warning to now a 10-second warning. So you got 10 seconds, you hear that warning, you can hit you. You can't do shit. You can't do shit. They might go to shut them. They living in the bomb shelter. Like, you gotta understand, like, you know, doing the work and doing that shit, bro. Like, you gotta, because if you go out, that motherfucker, then they get killed again in 10 seconds. And then they send the hypersonics at this motherfucker.
Oh.
Yeah, Mach 14.
That's fast as hell.
That's enough time to say that long ass prayer that
Yeah.
you praying.
That's fast as fuck.
Yeah, man, but, hey, you small hats claim to be this country. Then Tel Aviv was Pink City, man. So you know it's intentional. Lord got them missiles raining down. This just the layup line, man. The game ain't started yet.
Right. Everybody coming out here with social media.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Or what you say, you got comments like on what?
And like on these major, mainstream platforms, they call it like. And not saying how like he said, we hijacked the president.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1. The word that the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declaring ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, saying Babylon is taken.
Babylon is taken, you done. Babylon, you stepped into the trap, man. You started a war, it's gonna end your ass, man. You started a war, it's gonna lead to the return of the house. Okay? Most how you go to this shit, inside, I'm just saying. Alright? Believe that this shit was achieved.
Why? Why, bro?
Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Moradok is broken in pieces.
Yeah, Moradok, the chief deity of Babylonian Empire.
Part of the philosophy of Marduk is basically your order out of chaos.
Her idols are confounded.
I say Marduk came from this so-called deity, destroyed a feminine deity that created the world from a fallen subject. You niggas are stupid.
Her images are broken into pieces.
Her images are broken into pieces. Going back to the image of military discipline, you know, it's part of the image. It's part of the image of the beast when you find the military. Okay? America being this moral standard in the earth. Now, it's a shame for screwing like the Lord.
Going to that Chinese movie with Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. His master told him the enemy hides behind images. Destroy the images and you'll see the enemy. So the Most High is breaking everything up. These strongholds, man. Use it.
They got some kind of rap fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got something called rap fatigue.
You got Jake out there in Japan on their fucking train, dancing in New York. You all see how these jumps look like this, man. Black fatigue everywhere. Out there in Japan.
These are all items. Eve was an image, the image of Eve.
You got Eve,
Yeah. It's all the items being confounded. So there was all ways of control. Because if you spend your life trying to be a rapper, he controls you. You spend your life trying to be a rapper, you're not learning nothing as a man, now you're useless.
And your favorite rappers are broke. Jay-Z's a so-called millionaire. Why is he going on tour now? That's not good. Why would I go back on tour if I'm broke?
Because
Bro.
the concerts is real like idol worship.
Yeah.
It's ritual. That's not to say you can't go to a concert in theory, but you know, you worshiping your idol. That's why everybody be wilding out and shit.
You looking up at him?
You looking up at them.
And then they make you get them hands up. You crazy. Get them fucking hands. You crazy.
And look, because what, like what is it? The average American woman has a social media account, and it's like it's you have it right. And what are you offering? Your attention. Followers, bro. There's arms. Send me your cash out.
Yeah.
You sending gifts to you put gifts on the altar, man.
And there's a point, you remember, you know, at the concert that smoke be coming?
Oh yeah.
Like the incense,
Like,
you know, doing the ritual.
Like it's like a bunch of smoke in front of the idol.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Now it's all been family. But now women are paying to go to these dating events.
Right.
You know, and we ain't getting free now.
Because there's dating fatigue now.
Yeah.
So that means you're disenchanted with your former idol.
And guess what Eve said? Eve said, came across a TikTok video, Eve said men are on a different time now. She said normally when you turn down a man, he'll be trying to, you know, revolve. She said now when you turn down a man, now he can keep it moving. Ain't no revolving anymore.
You got, first of all, starting with the Apostles' Great Millstone through the Spirit. But look, really in the Spirit, they kicked off MGTOW, which is an acronym for Men Going Their Own Way, Free Agent Lifestyle, Introspective Black Men of Reform, Kevin Samuel, Save Yourself Black Man, SYSBM. There's so many different movements, Passport Bros. There's so many different movements that's kicked off, started with the Apostles' Great Millstone, all right, and just leaving the American woman.
Financially sober.
Financially sober. And actual sober for some people, like, it's seeking attention. That means Jake ain't nobody, nothing you no more. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, hey, there's so many movements. There's a byproduct of your reaction to it.
And so we really see the middle side here, Eve and Harper, and they all together.
It's Micah 5:12 in NLT. I will put an end to all witchcraft, and there will be no more fortune tellers.
Yeah, so you're seeing that this devil witchcraft is waning. Even with as soon as he went into the energy crisis, everybody got on this shit. Then this the same play. You know? This shit waning.
This nigga had the whole world wearing a mask.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You're gonna see more rebellion from the energy crisis. The lockdown. These people are rebelling against that shit. These devils gonna have to do some rest to break that, to really break the barrier. They gotta turn the lights off.
You saw mad as hell.
They gotta turn the stumps off.
Water, life, gas.
I said, niggas don't need no gas. What do niggas do? You know? Niggas just ride around, blasting goddamn music, looking at all that you praise and shit. You know?
Want to commit adults to do something.
Go commit a murder.
And the only gas they really want is the one you can smoke.
Yeah.
That's the only petrol they really want.
Verse 13, I will destroy all your idols and sacred pillars.
Eve, that woman worship, because back in the day you had R&B, and that was another telltale sign that women worship was coming to the end. You don't even hear about R&B no more. Yeah, where's the R. Kelly's at the fucking Tyreeks?
Really translated to like neo soul. You
Yeah.
don't hear about R&B.
Yeah.
Because now the singer just talking about fucking. Yeah, fucking adults. Yeah, it
Well, I've been
ain't.
stroking.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
It ain't no soft shit no more.
It ain't about family. Like,
Yeah.
you used to sing about family.
Right.
Now we just straight slutted out.
So you will never again worship the work of your old heads.
Yeah, so you look at, like I say, people make these social media platforms, right? They worship themselves. They all they do is sit there and check their notifications off.
And guess what? And because of this platform, you no longer have A-list levels. Niggas won't, if they seen Will Smith, you won't run to Will Smith like you would have done in the early 90s, early 2000s.
Now,
Hey,
guys, look,
go ahead, Japan.
now guys like I Show Speed and these podcasts, that's the new Will Smith.
Right. Yo.
Drewski, yeah.
Or even yourself.
Yeah.
I got followers.
Yeah, we know times people becoming lovers in their own selves.
Right.
Surprised at all time now.
Yeah.
When they see these so-called celebrities, like, man, fuck them. Man. I got my own subscribers. Verse 14, I will abolish your idol shrines with the astral repose and
Follows
destroy,
me what's put an end to.
and destroy your pagan cities. I will pour out my vengeance on all the nations that refuse to obey me.
Hey, that's all the nations. All the nations so full some fashion. They come from the border. Esau, they would say. They don't saw more than others at the end of the day. Alright? None of these nations, okay, are part of the salvation that's coming from the house shot. The house shot is coming to put all this shit in. The house shot coming, he's coming to stop it. You know? He's coming to put that's how you show true power when you can stop it with. And anybody can start one, and who can finish one. My boy, the storm, you know, my boy keeps talking about ending. That's who got the true power. That's who got the true power, then who can end the war.
That's right.
Storm.
Stormzy. Yeah, you remember Dave and Storm.
But yeah, man. The house shot, he's coming to end this shit. This is why it's gonna be quick. Yeah, he's coming to put a quick end to this shit. You know? He's gonna let these nations get at each other. Because these nations finna judge, these nations judging each other. These missiles flying back and forth. These nations judging each other. But nobody perish being innocent.
That's right.
You know? It's gonna lead to the rules. You got it.
In Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1, the word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans.
So the Lord is against this place. See, you're American, that's another thing too. You're American is not innocent. You should point the finger at the small head. See, that's another thing too. If you niggas were winning, you wouldn't be saying everybody got morals now because they see they catching the L. But if they was winning, because where were these morals at in Iraq?
Right.
Where was the morals at with Venezuela?
That's right.
These niggas were cheerleading. When Trump did that shit in Venezuela, everybody was on board.
They ain't even bringing up the slave trade.
Yeah.
That shit too late.
Yeah, niggas trying to get out. No, you in this shit.
Ain't gonna be no kumbaya.
No, ain't no trade. You ain't getting out though.
Y'all in this shit, man. Because you celebrated America for the law, and you other nations that don't want to get in this war now. The EU nation, okay, can get, man, you looked it up. When we looked it up, it was 40 nations in America that went to Afghanistan.
47? 47? 47 nations.
UK was at every war. That's why Trump said, I'm surprised.
We've been doing this shit together.
Because UK been there every time. But see, you can't see this shit real. Now it's like, shit.
And you can't. Troy, we cannot win this war.
Hey, Zakor is so bad, he called out for Denmark. Zakor said, Denmark? He said, I don't know what they do, but they need to stick to doing that, because this ain't it.
Yeah, man. See, all you other nations, you trying to act like you innocent, you're just American, you small head. Nah, you been down with the war too. You know? But now that you see that this war is vulnerable, now everybody want to have balls and talk about it.
You too hot in the kitchen.
Yeah, you need to get involved. You get on that horse, you got
That's what Bush said.
Yeah, you got hey, hey, Trump, let me out.
Don't want
Let me out,
you stay right there.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, what did Bush say? You know, fool me once.
Shame on you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
He couldn't get it right.
Now what he said? He said, you fool me, you ain't gonna fool me again.
Jeremiah the prophet, declare ye among the nations and publish, set up a standard, publish.
And this is what we doing now. This is the standard. And because of the standard, you have what? The spiritual downfall of these Eve.
So when you go to war, you have your flag. That's how you know. Because in the ancient war, you against the people on worse what? So you had that standard up in the war. So you come in the battle with that standard. So So we come with the standard of how about Shema Shah to the spiritual war.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm military on the way. So we just get to commentate these nations going at each other, but guess what? And then another thing too, the Lord gonna activate brothers out here soon, man.
That's right. We the ground truth.
Yeah. The Lord gonna activate brothers soon, man.
You see the Air Force, the chariots.
Yeah.
We got the Navy, Leviathan.
Ooh. That's a good one there, boy. That's a good one, yeah.
BG the most high, Lord.
Hey.
This is Jeremiah 51:20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
Yep.
So brothers don't have that spiritual power. You don't see Hancocks, Superman around this joint because of that spiritual power. Goku's. The brothers gonna be in the battle and slipping. Bright Burns.
Yeah.
He was in the right spirit. He got it right, bro.
This guy gets it.
He was the best. It's called, what do you call it? Yeah, anti-hero.
Well, it always most like that, like Kobo, of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
For his kind.
Yep.
You know, Vegeta.
Yep.
For his race.
Caesar was a sellout.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They always try to make it look like that main character, the good guy. But really that's a sellout. Just like in Avengers, the heroes, them really fucked up. Thanos was on some, he was on some other shit. With the boy, X-Men, he was like, no more war. The guy that they woke up. Yeah, Apocalyptus.
Thou art my battle axe, the weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
So in a nutshell, the most I'm going to use brothers to destroy motherfuckers. You pick up a battle axe to destroy shit. To fuck up shit, to devastate something.
And with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
And with you, I will destroy kingdoms. And we're in the last hoorah of Esau's rulership.
And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
That's right.
Hey, so we got a lot to look for. We just getting started, man. We're just beginning. We some exciting time. Then it's coming to the time of the Passover, man. The Lord started World War III before the Passover, man. You know, let's finish on that.
And conceal not, say, Babylon is taken. There is confounded. Marduk is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken up in pieces.
So we at the end of this man's kingdom, okay? At the end of this man's witchcraft, everything that this man has established, all these enchantments, all this shit is going to be broken up for the prophecy. You know?
You also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. We well. Peace and blessings. Help them run us to the house of David the elect. Bible ball.
A Bible ball. Come on, Charlotte. Shalom.